So hopefully that has made you all consider that actually the workspace is something that we all need to be considering. I often find that there are two teams, the server team or the desktop team, or the IT guy that is so tied up in doing stuff at the data center that actually thinks that user bit, that getting that PC working for that user is beneath them. Certainly, we all started our career probably supporting those users. But realistically, that's where we need to take our career again. Because ultimately, if we have happy users, we're a more productive business. And we're able to be more productive as an IT team. However, we're trying to do this under an immense pressure. What we've got on screen today is what you were trying to do, and probably what a lot of organizations are still trying to do today. This is the PCs that you supply to your users, running the applications in your data center, and then accessing the internet out for your firewall. However, realistically, today, this is the problem. We've got users inside and outside your organization using devices that they bring in or that you supply, trying to access applications that are not only in your data center, but are also in the public cloud or in software as a service, and we have someone trying to hack and get into all of those workspaces. And by the way, if you could just sort all of that by the end of the week, then we will be in a good place. This is one of the biggest challenges that we need to overcome. Identity is the new perimeter. So the firewall used to be the perimeter of your network. You had to get your firewall right to secure your business. However, the user is now the element that is going to take the data out of your business. They're subscribing to software on the internet, Evernote, Dropbox, maybe other applications they're downloading from the App Store, but it's still your responsibility, the people in this room, to protect that data that you do not even know about. The day that business, that data gets out into the public forum, who is the business going to come and look to go, why did you let that happen? It's data. That's IT's responsibility. That's your responsibility. So we need to think of ways that we can protect the identity. This is enabling the user. This is having a way to be able to disable every single cloud application that the user uses when they leave the business. But to do this, we need to do this under a guise of being able to actually enable the employees. I used to be the group policy guy at my previous job. I think we've got Perrin that used to work with me in that previous job, and I was hated because I locked down group policy so tight that you couldn't run anything on it that I didn't want you to run. That is not the way to do it today. Because back then when I did it, they had no other option. They couldn't go and run another application any other way. They probably had a PC in their study upstairs at the back of their house, and they could go and use that if they wanted to. They didn't have a smartphone. We gave them Nokia 3210s or whatever it was, so they couldn't run apps on that. Today, if you stop them doing something, they will find another way to do it. So this is where VMware Workspace 1 comes in. As Joe said, VDI isn't the answer. It is a stopgap. It is that piece that helps you get legacy applications mobile to your users where they need them. It also helps specific use cases around things like 3D applications, CAD applications. It allows you to mobilize those workloads when you wouldn't have been able to do that before. However, the real problem we have today is getting the applications and data to your users where they want them. That used to be their desktop. The amount of hours I spent creating pretty start menus with all the applications nicely filed in them so the users could find the applications I wanted them to use. I don't care about the desktop now. I don't run applications from that. I haven't even clicked the start menu. I just kind of click Windows, start typing what I want, and click return, and it loads. So we need this company app store. We need to have a single place that we can get to that centralizes all of our applications, whether they're legacy applications running out of VDI or being streamed to us, whether they are cloud-native applications, software as a service applications, or whether they are device-native applications, iOS or Android applications. This is what Workspace 1 gives you. But it does it all with identity management built in and single sign-on built in. So your employees log in once. They log in once to Workspace from any device. It doesn't matter what device it is. So there it is on an iPad. Looks exactly the same on a HTML5 browser. All of their applications appear there. We've also got things like their virtual desktops appear there. We've got software as a service applications, Salesforce, Office 365. They do not sign in again to any of those services. It is single sign-on. If that employee leaves the business, I block their Active Directory account, and they can no longer access any software as a service application, legacy application, your organization, nothing. If you think you've got a problem today with software as a service applications, it is going to go up like this. we need to take control of identity now to protect us for the future. So Workspace ONE will do that. It centralizes those legacy applications and the VDI desktops. A component of Workspace ONE at the top end is VMware Horizon, their VDI offering, allowing you the easiest way to centralize your application and data, that important critical data that is confidential, so it is running out of your data center. If you've ever looked at VDI before, gone, it's not right for my use case, it's not right for my business. Jaguar Land Rover are now using this to design components for their cars. We're full 3D cage design capable. If you're a legal customer, you can do digital dictation with it. There is no workload that wouldn't work on VDI. Doesn't mean that everyone's got to do VDI, but if that was a consideration in the past, we can now do that using the latest versions of VDI. There's a number of feature updates in Horizon 7.5, such as a new protocol called Blast Extreme. It's native HTML5. You've got any web browser that is HTML5 compliant, you do not need to download and install a client to access your virtual desktop. You're around your great auntie's house, you jump on her iPad, you can access your work desktop in a secure way to access your applications and data. It's H.2.64 based in terms of encoding. That's the same encoder-decoder that is used for streaming video around the world. You've got an iPhone in your pocket, you have a H.264 hardware decoder in your pocket. So in terms of being able to offload the need to decode that protocol to the CPU, it can now do it with the native chips inside your smartphones, thin clients, PCs, and laptops. We can do Linux desktops if you want to do that. We've got a thing called just-in-time desktops, which is when the user logs into the desktop. As they're logging in, the applications are layered on, their persona is layered on, even the desktop is instantly cloned from an underlying template. So it's quicker and faster and more seamless than ever before to be able to deliver desktop. Only VMware can deliver a single vendor solution that does all of those application layers in a single VDI solution. There is a very complex 3D cage design of a very complex engine that I can't remember what it was called. It spins, it goes down to a 3D cage model. Go and see the guys at the back, they can probably show you this working. VDI can be used for everything. But most importantly, it isn't just about VDI, it isn't just about applications, it's about managing each and every device, whether that is the corporate-owned iPhone, the corporate desktop, the employee-owned device. We need a way of being able to manage all this, and Workspace ONE has AirWatch incorporated with it. Recognized by Gartner for many years as the leader in the Magic Quadrant. We have seamless self-service that allows the users, as Joe mentioned, over lunch, your user can enroll their device into the corporate BYOD scheme or the corporate desktop policy. Your policies go down to it, the applications go onto it, they have this single identity management, this single application portal without a call to IT. And even if they want to be able to do that with their own device, you can set the policies. It's fully contextual aware. So you can detect if it's a corporate-owned device or their personal device. You can say what they can and can't see, even if that is software as a service. So let's, for example, using Salesforce.com. Maybe you only want them to be able to do that in the office. Well, if you just log in Salesforce.com, you can't do anything with that. They can go home, they can sit there copying and pasting all their customer details out into a separate database so they can go to their next job. With this, we can say you can only view Salesforce.com inside a VDI desktop to give them mobility or on-premise. It is completely flexible. We then look at the PC, and most of the traditional patch management or device management applications are based in your data center, like SCCM. While I'm out on the road, as 9 out of 10 times we are, we're not getting the patches, the updates. Group policy isn't sending those policies down to us while we're on the road. With Windows 10, we now have the ability to manage a Windows device exactly the same as we have managed mobile devices with AirWatch for some time. We can do all of those key things on the screen. To give you a very short demonstration, this is an employee going into Windows 10, enrolling their Windows 10 device into AirWatch themselves. It comes down with the policy that is then protecting that, adding it to maybe Azure Active Directory, and then the user can then seamlessly and easily navigate to Workspace ONE to access their applications. We've decided to put pin code on this as well for a second form factor. We're going to go and select an application. We've also got an application catalog to allow the users to install applications that IT has already pre-approved. We're now going to launch an application such as Salesforce. and we get single sign-on seamlessly all the way through to that cloud platform, all without having that device to visit IT. So in summary, we get a single application portal. It's fully contextual aware. It can work with NSX. So if you like the idea about VDI, I can completely change the security surrounding that virtual desktop depending on who logs into it, what they can and can't access. We've got single sign-on. We can have it integrated with Horizon for desktops, unified device access. We also can do follow me data. So no matter where your data is, whether it's in Dropbox, whether it's in OneDrive, whether it's on a network share, we can access it through AirWatch Secure Content Locker. It comes in 3 flavors. So if all of this sounds quite expensive and something you're never going to be able to do, you can start at the baby one, which gives you that identity management piece. It gives you that single place for the applications to be. And then you can come up through the tiers from there. So that is my last piece before the break. We're now breaking for 20 to 30 minutes to give you the opportunity to relax. We've given you a hell of a lot of information this morning, and hopefully you found that useful.